Oh, that's a lot of noise. That's like because you were moving.
Yeah, because it was so squeaky and my mic arm needs oiling. Not my real arms though; they're very
They're very bone-like, so don't need oiling.
Last I checked, yeah. Bit of
Never know
cartilage
these
as well.
days. So, welcome to UnCapt Gaming for all your unprofessional needs. So, how are we? As always, I'm joined by Phil and Dale. So, how are we both? Are we good?
I'm good. I got 4 pens on my desk. I don't know why I've got 4 pens just surrounding me. But
Is that a multi-pack?
yeah, there was. But
Yeah.
I don't know where the others have gone, but I found 4 pens just scattered around me. Normally, I can't find pens.
It's always the same.
I've got 3 pens and a pencil.
I've got a pencil thing because I'm always the same as you guys. I've always just got pens scattered all over my desk.
Right, that was a random intro. I just got really distracted by how many pens were around me and why they were. But I'm good. How's everyone doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a okay week. How about you, Phil?
I'm good. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Just all right.
This is a very positive start to the podcast. So
it's always when you you start saying how you are, and then you realise you've nothing substantial to say, but you're already mid sentence. You're like, I've just been, doing nothing of consequence.
I'm alive. It's there.
I'm here. So well, something of substance. What have we been playing? We'll start with Philippe this week.
Philippe, tell us.
Feel like you've overhyped this now. So this week I have been mostly playing. Fast show reference for anyone who's old enough. So I've been playing Tormented Souls, which is the main thing. Like I'm right at the end of it now. I did think I was going to finish it like the last time I started playing, but then it was like 11 o'clock. I'd been playing longer than planned, and I was just right at like kind of the last part. But it's really, really good that the game's still continuing to wow me, and anyone who's a survival horror fan, it is absolutely a must play, I've got to say. And I'm really enjoying the story and everything as well. So that's all good. What else have I been playing? Stuff probably. Last of Us. I've now got all the single player trophies on Last of Us. So my trophy hunting has come to fruition mostly. The only thing I've got left is the damn multiplayer trophies. But in time, I will learn how to do all right at factions. Yeah, I think that's mainly it. To be honest, just those 2 games. There's been nothing new yet to try. I was considering getting Ghostwire Tokyo, but maybe next paycheck. I don't know. We'll see.
Have you played the demo of that yet? Isn't there a demo for that?
It's not a demo. There was a prologue, which is a weird. It's like a
romance novel thing you were on about. I remember you talking about it, and you were just so confused.
Yeah, because the game itself is a first-person action adventure where you're using like the magic hand signs to like tie up like weird-looking ghosts, whereas it's more like Ace Attorney type presentation, like the like visual novel type thing. So it's completely different. Yeah. And I suppose it tells the story of like one of the 2. Like you're playing as one guy who's been possessed by the spirits of another guy who's got these powers, and I think it's the guy who's possessing you, his backstory or something like that. But yeah, I couldn't get into it just because I'm not really into those type of games, any of the visual novel stuff. So it was just like reached the point that I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Should play Doki Doki.
No, can't recommend not to play a game on that. Yeah, because that's quite weird. Because like prologues normally, kind of like most of them that I've played have kind of showed off the mechanics of the game and stuff, and it's more the introduction to the game.
Yeah, there might be something else there that does that, but the thing I saw didn't.
Okay. On to Dale.
Well, I did it. I am the Elden Lord. Ah,
I haven't
finished
completed it
it.
in 2 hours though, so
What's that?
I haven't completed it in 2 hours yet.
Well,
So.
about 20 odd minutes now. I think it's sub 20 minutes they beat it in. Damn. But no, yeah, I finished it like end of last week, I think. And those two last bosses, story bosses, are very, very unfair. I suppose you could say the last 3 out of 4 are pretty unfair. One of them's a bit of a joke, like seriously a joke. But yeah, it was such a relief to finish that game. Holy hell, that last boss had me. I was so salty. I vowed to uninstall it. I'd vowed to remove it from my history. And then once I finished it, I was like, I'm only joking. I wouldn't do that to you. You're beautiful. Mwah, mwah, mwah. But those last two. The only thing that annoys me about it is everything has a second phase. Everything. Like, I get it. Like, now and again, a second phase is cool. But holy, like, and they don't just like, oh, they're a bit faster this time. They completely mix up their movesets. They give them a bit more health. They make them more aggressive. They hate you. The developers hate you. They don't want you to do. Like, I know you don't want people to beat your game. Well, you do, but you want it to be difficult for them. But they just hate you. They don't want you to. They don't even want you to, like, I don't know. They don't even want you to leave spawn half the time. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, I'm happy I beat it. I'm really happy I beat it.
Sorry, just as you were saying all those comments, then I'm just imagining loads of really angry comments being typed out that just begin with, "Well, you've got to get good."
Well, this is the thing is I've not heard the Dark Souls or the Souls like community say that much. I think it turned into a meme to kind of take the mick out of them until those last two bosses, where my friend was literally like, "Nah, these are unfortunately just get good bosses. You just need to get good." And I did, and I beat them. Admittedly, for both of them, I think I got a little lucky. Not the last one, but the one before it, I got a little lucky on. But yeah, they are very much get good bosses, and they're not even the hardest. I've missed one of the hardest bosses, which I've got to go and do now, which I'm not too excited about.
So you're going to 100% it then?
No, I'm not going to 100%. I might do New Game Plus. I don't think I'll go to like New Game Plus 7 because that's quite yeah, that didn't sound fun at all. I might do New Game Plus because there's a couple of things and storylines that I missed out on. Because the thing with Soulsborns is they don't really tell you where the stories are. You've kind of just got to stumble on them and let them progress while you're playing through the game. But you can miss out on loads. You can miss out on so much story if you're like me anyway and don't actually go check things and just run headfirst into all the bosses. So there's a couple of different things that I want to go check out. Plus, you can get all like the weapons again. You keep all your stuff. You can get all the weapons again, so you can like dual wield some of the really cool weapons and stuff.
That's
so
cool.
I want to do that. I do want to do that. But yeah, I'm glad it's done. I have a massive appreciation for the game. I honestly don't know how many things can challenge for Game of the Year. I'm putting it now. It's Game of the Year. There's nothing. There's nothing. I will fight. It's the get good year, okay? Damn.
I'm just waiting for that like amazing game that comes out in like 3-4 months.
It just shocks me, and I'm like, listen, right? I know I said I'd fight for it, but you know the game did beat me up in my defense. Oh damn! No, it was incredible. I did get very ragey at the end, but
yeah, I think
I'm very lucky. Go on, sorry.
I was going to say it's like one of those things where you're so close, and I think you're so close. You're like you can feel it.
Yeah,
feel the end.
I think one of the beautiful things about Soulsborns is you will go into a boss 20 odd times and get just absolutely ruined, but you just see that health bar go down a little bit more as you know, okay, I can punish this move. Oh, if he does this, I know to do this, and that like thing of get good, that like actually getting good at it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding, and I've not felt that in a game for quite some time. It's fun. I don't think I'll be a Soulsborne like representative, but I appreciate people that have beat the majority of Soulsborne games because they've got some resolve that I don't think I'll ever have. Sorry. Yeah, just coughing. It's just my appreciation. Damn.
So
But other than that, sorry, I was
oh,
going to go into my second game.
Oh, I didn't
I'm a
realize there was more than one
player now. Yeah, I'm a
He's-
Warzone player now. I'm playing CODs again.
He's changed multiplayer FPS again. What
Yeah,
will be next week? Take a pick.
Well, it's not. It's a load of the work lads play, and they've asked me to play with them, and I don't know. I got sucked back into. I watch Call of Duty competitively, as you two know, a lot, and I love COD. I love COD with a passion. So getting back into it and actually playing it, just I don't know. It's a very very rough around the edges game, and I'm very excited for Warzone 2, so they can polish things out and actually get a decent game. But yeah, I'm sucked in. It's cards, isn't it? I love cards. It's just I just want to be 18 again, stupidly like cracked and have amazing reactions. But I'm old now, so I've got to play a bit more smart now. I can't just rely on gun skill to kill everyone.
Your legs have gone over there.
Yeah, it's a bit wobbly, Run into doors constantly.
Injury.
They're so scary though. It's like Apex when you play against really good players. You just like. You fire, you make down one or kill one, and the next thing you know, you just got 3 people sliding in through different doors, and you're just like, I don't know what to shoot. What's going on? So I've done a lot of gaming. It's been a good week for it.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, my week's kind of been taken over by the football. Wales are on their way to Qatar, so we just reached the playoff final against either Scotland or Ukraine, which has understandably been postponed. So that's been my week. And Ruben Colwell, my boy, scored his first Welsh goal yesterday as well, the equaliser against Czech Republic. So I've been kind of taken over with that. But other than that, I've been grinding away at Guardians, which I'm completely in love with. I take back my comments of last week where I didn't enjoy the voice acting. I think it's grown on me now, and the chemistry between the characters is really good. Like each one's kind of got their own thing. Like Drax and Gamora have got their thing going on. And you asked last week.
It's not the MCU actors. Have you got past that part now?
I got past it, and they've grown on me. It's not Batista. It's not Chris Pratt, but I love them. Like Drax and Gamora make me laugh. Where Drax is like, she's the spawn of Satan sort of thing, and it does follow the comics a lot more with Peter Quill's father being the King of Spartax as well, which is a nice little nod, and rather than Ego, and he's got cool weapons from there.
The actions if you're listening.
Dual wield. And like it's just, and there's a lot of like you can explore a lot of their and they've gone a lot into their stories and stuff as well, which is really cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I've kind of had to go back now because I made a choice and I was like, don't like that choice. I don't like that choice at all. But it does this annoying thing where you can pick the chapters, but you can't like carry on from when you play that chapter, if that makes sense. So you replay the individual chapter, and then if you continue your game, you kind of continue from your last story point, which is quite annoying. But yeah, other than that, it's brilliant. The combat is just so sweet. I love like sliding around and zooming past people with your jet boots and stuff, and it's just sick. Recommended to everyone.
Don't a slide make every video game better? It does, don't it? It does.
So like there's a couple of little things he does with them. So like you can dodge, and he kind of does this like twirl thing in the air, and then if like you're knocked over, do you know in the movie where he kind of slides across the floor when he jets with his thing?
Yeah.
He does that, and it's just like it's so sweet, and then yeah, it's just go play it. I'd recommend it. Anyone who's got Game Pass as well, you're lucky enough that you can get it part of your subscription now. So I'd recommend to go play it. I think that brings us on nicely to our subject, though, with subscriptions being the talking point. PlayStation have now just announced they will be rebranding PlayStation Plus in June, with 3 tiers now, I think. So yeah, 3 tiers. So you'll have PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, extra will have 400 games, and premium will have up to 700 games. How do we feel about that? Are you excited, Phil?
Why is it tiered? Why not just make it one subscription?
I think, I mean, I don't know for definite, but when I was looking at this in terms of the basic tier, is it called Essentials or something like that?
Yeah.
That's effectively PlayStation Plus as it is now, no change. And then the two other ones are incorporating into it PlayStation Now, which is so like in terms of being able to like live stream games from the cloud, that sort of thing. And then there's obviously they've made the choice to do two tiers, whether so that like it's a bit of a weird one because in terms of speaking as someone who's currently got both subscriptions, PS Plus and PS Now, the price for the top tier one for me is exactly the same as I'm paying for both the existing services. So there's no price so I get everything that price. So I suppose if anyone's in that position, they got that. Whereas if someone can't quite afford that, but they want some premium level, there's a mid tier thing, or if someone's just got PS Plus and they're not interested in that, they don't have to pay any extra. That's the only thing I can think of as a logic. But that's but they've clearly prioritized PlayStation Plus existing customers, I think, because PS Now existing customers who've just got that, if they want what they had. I'm not sure why anyone would just have PS Now rather than PS Plus unless you didn't have a PlayStation. I think it was PC players mainly you'd probably see that, but that's where you potentially lose out, I suppose, from the new services because PlayStation Now is no longer it's a bolt on to PlayStation Plus essentially because it only exists in the middle tier and the upper tier. That's where if you were paying £50 a year before, now you've got to pay £100 a year to get the same thing. Or is it 75 or 85 the middle one, or something like
that? 60 for the year. PlayStation Plus sells 60 for the year. It's just like because the article that I was reading through from Polygon was quite confusing because it's a lot of numbers, to be honest. But yeah, it was 60 for the year.
Yeah, so
and then PlayStation Premium is double for $120 for the year.
Yeah, so that's
you basically double it.
Like my main take from it is that if you've got PlayStation Plus on its own, you've got nothing. You don't lose anything from the changeover, and you can if you pay a bit more, you can pay more. If you've got both of them, same price for the top tier stuff. So you don't. It's the only so. It's if you have PlayStation Now and not PlayStation Plus, that's where any kind of detriment comes in.
Okay.
Which again,
so it's basically
is probably people who don't have PlayStations but still want to play the games like through PC or whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like just basically a fancy rebrand. This now, rather than a whole new subscription service.
A whole new subscription service.
Because
I mean, carry on. I'm just going to look up how many game numbers from existing PlayStation Now.
Okay. Do you get PlayStation exclusives day one then?
No.
No, I mean that's never been the case. He said that's not going to change, didn't he?
No, yeah. So he basically said that is it Ryan Jim, isn't it? Jim Ryan, sorry, came out and said that it would affect the quality because we couldn't, for the quality of game that we want to make, we couldn't sell a $70 game in a £15 a month subscription service to maintain the quality, which I kind of get. You know, like.
Surely you'd be looking at Game Pass for the success of that and being like, "Yo, we could be pulling in numbers." But I guess maybe they wouldn't pull that much in off their subscription. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting to see how much it actually starts pulling in.
Yeah. Because this is going to be slowly on PlayStation as well, I believe. So yeah. Like I kind of understand the logic of it, but at the same time, it's like we have seen success with
and
Xbox.
that'd be like one of your biggest selling points, wouldn't it? Because they always drive about how their first parties are their big big things, and you'd think that'd be like their big selling point, like that makes sense. But then again, like you said, it's the numbers thing, and we just play games. We don't really know the actual numbers and stuff, and how much money gets handled here and there and things. So,
I mean, I think it depends on because the way everyone has talked about this since it was kind of first rumored is like everyone's always kind of talked about it as PlayStation's Game Pass, which I was always kind of skeptical of, to be honest, because I never thought that they were going to offer a similar service to that anyway. Because I would didn't think they were going to do too much change to the existing one. I can't find a figure for how many games there are on the PlayStation Now library at the moment, but from what they're saying, I think we will see like a considerable increase. So maybe the middle tier is probably, if it's 400, that's probably about what's on now. At a guess, I could be completely wrong on that. But
it does say that there's let me just find it. PlayStation Now currently has 788 games spanning 3 console generations.
I honestly did not realize there were that many games on
there.
Yeah. On the other side, ain't this just showing Nintendo what they should kind of be doing a bit better?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo's is just because they've got a subscription, but the only games you get from it are previous generation games, aren't they?
Yeah.
You don't get.
Yeah, but you don't get many. That's the issue. Is like they could do so. Just if they just put some of the Pokemon games in that subscription, I'd be paying for it just for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's smart from PlayStation because they understand that people do want to go back and play their older games. Like people enjoy that stuff. So it's nice and it kind of helps preserve the games as well.
Do you know what I mean? We talked about as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because we spoke about that. I mean, it is sick that you can just sit there and be like, oh, remember that game? Oh, someplace. Oh, just download it. Have a 10, 20 minutes. Yeah, this was amazing. Cool. You know what I mean? It's nice for that.
Because there was a rumor not so long ago, wasn't there, about they patented something to do with backwards compatibility. I don't know whether that has any direct correlation to this, but and obviously not every patent comes to something. But there was they patented something to do with PS5, but the backwards compatibility to PS4, 3, 2, and 1. And that got a lot of people talking about it. So whether the end result of that is now you can, because I think the earliest you can stream of the 750. I honestly did not realize it was that many, but the earliest you can stream is there's a handful of PS2 games. There's quite a lot of PS3 ones, and then there's loads of PS4 ones. Whereas if they're moving into more PS2 ones and PS1 games, which obviously weren't there, that's where it kind of changes that up considerably.
Yeah, so you get PlayStation portable games as well as the PSP games.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Any of the old Monster Hunters on there?
PSP, so I'm.
I used to have
I loved my PSP.
Yeah,
I've still got my PSP.
I think my mum get rid of mine. She did every other console.
I adored my PSP. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was
the PS Vita. I've still got a PS Vita somewhere. That was.
I never had a PS Vita. Never had one.
I don't know. I think maybe I just grew out of handhelds. Because there's a lot of people that kind of love the Vita, and they still kind of develop games for it, don't they? They still release some stuff to it.
I think have they just stopped? I don't know.
I don't know.
I got an email very the last few days saying it's changing.
That's nice. I mean, at least on the plus side, Phil, they've kind of consolidated things into another confusing 3 tiers. But then the PS Now and then the PS Plus things and the different libraries they had were so confusing. Especially for me when I was just plodding on there to have a little browse through. I was like, I don't know what I actually have access to. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, maybe that's what the focus of this is.
Yeah, and a rebrand always helps, don't it?
Yeah, you know? like reading a lot of what Jim Ryan had to say, it sounds like this is all about choice, because he sort of said that game subscriptions wouldn't dominate the way like Netflix and Spotify do. He thinks that live services are still going to be going to be the driving force of the industry, and which is obviously like they've obviously just bought Bungie as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I think, and he actually said as well, like a lot of people still buy the games available on Xbox Game Pass for the full price. Which and me and Phil were talking about this yesterday as well. Actually, I think in the Discord where he sort of said like games that I'm invested in, I would pay the £70 for.
I've got my collection over there, and I like. I mean, I've got digital ones as well, but I like having. There's some that I like to own anyway, but I like, especially if they're like in a box in a case.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm on the opposite end of that. Even if I'm invested, if it's on a service, I'm just gonna pay the service and play it on there. And once I'm done, I'm done. Because I'm not. I suppose I don't know how many gamers fall into this, but I'm not a replayer much. So subscriptions suit me massively because I can play a game and then I'm done. Do you know what I mean? There's few games that I will like. I mean, there's a couple of games that I have on most consoles, which like Stardew, Hollow Knight, Minecraft. For some reason, I have on like everything, and I don't play it much. So I guess there are, but like subscription services suit me to a T because I'm not a big fan of going back and playing things. I'm not a big fan of 100%ing things either. I've done you, bye, I'll see you later, you know.
Yeah.
Bye.
I think I'm in the same boat, but at the same time it's like, do we end up where we end up with like Netflix, Disney Plus and everything, where we end up spending stupid amounts of money on different, because I believe Ubisoft is going to Xbox. I might be wrong on that one.
Ubisoft is with Xbox now.
It is with Xbox, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So like I think I like if it's one or two, and if a lot of them, because we got EA Access, which has gone over to Game Pass as well. Like if there's one or two, I'd happily pay £20 a month or £35 a month, say, to play all those games, because I see it as worth it. But like if we ended up with a world where we're in the world we're in with like TV series subscription services now, where we've just got hundreds, where we've got like Crunchyroll, we've got Funimation's joined Crunchyroll, but like, you know, Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon.
That was always the thing, wasn't it?
Let's not talk about Crunchyroll. They're winding me up right now. Because Crunchyroll's doing my head in.
But like, I think it would be a very different story if that was.
I mean, I don't think it'll be exactly the same for a couple of, but like, I mean, when Netflix started, that kind of saw like piracy went way down, because obviously the main thing was like people didn't want to. So that's a slightly different thing. Like, we don't really have the same level of like where back in the olden days you could get like your PlayStation chipped or whatever to like play all the copied CDs and all this sort of stuff. Whereas no one, like, unless you're you're like doing lots of stuff and paying an expensive tech, you're not really like jailbreaking a PS5 or anything like that. So there's not really the same issue that like Netflix solved. But then at the same time, with Netflix and Amazon and Disney Plus, you can have all of them. I mean, it costs a fortune to have everything, but you can have all of them. Whereas to have Xboxes and PlayStations and Nintendo's subscription service, you're not just paying 3 subscription services, you're paying for 3 sets of hardware.
Yeah.
Potentially new generations of that hardware and all, because obviously you've either got to own an Xbox or a PC to play Xbox games, you've got to own a PlayStation to play PlayStation games, you've got to own a Switch to play Nintendo, all that sort of stuff. So I don't think it'll necessarily go down exactly the same route. And as you say, there probably is a lot more room for more people to do different things, I think, on that basis of people who just play the live service. They'll play Fortnite forever, and as long as that's updated and stuff like that, and then that's their thing, and that's fine. Or people who will always buy the latest AAA story game because that's the thing that they're into in it, and nothing like things. And then people who just pay for the subscription service, and then people in between who mix and match and do all of them. Because the other thing with subscription services as well is like if the bills go up too much, then you cancel them. Whereas if you've got you bought a game, it's bought, it's done.
Yeah. Because I cancelled. I was with Ubisoft to play Valhalla. I stopped, and I have been like dying to play it again now. But it's like I just kind of don't want to. I kind of completed half of it, so is it still worth that £60 or whatever it is now?
Yeah,
It's kind of that sort of
I think
attitude.
that's what kind of irks me about the PlayStation thing, not having their first party, because then you're just forcing your players to pay more constantly.
Mm.
You know,
I think
guess
they
it's
will.
good for them.
They
But
didn't
for
say
players,
it wouldn't eventually go on to the services, so they could go on, but it won't be day one.
yeah, because like, but like, I don't know. You pay for the Microsoft thing, what, £12, something like that, £14,
Yeah,
something.
12.
I got the PC, yeah, the thing one, and like the games come straight, so I'm not paying 50. They're like 50, 60 quid, Microsoft, didn't they?
Yeah,
But then you're
60.
paying like 14 odd pound or whatever it is for PlayStation, 10, £12 a month, and then they release a game. You're still paying 70 quid for their games. It's like,
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
still worth it,
probably
yeah.
where it'll see whether it incentivizes new subscribers, because I think that's probably going to be a big test for them, isn't it? Is whether like if
Yeah.
I'd say if you've got both of those services already, you're not paying a penny extra for the new version of it, whereas you are, from the looks of it, getting more from it. But if you've not been doing it before and you've just been buying the game, it's like if you don't play online and you just buy the games, is there an incentive to get the PS Plus thing? I don't necessarily think there is in that sense. But again, that's the question, I suppose, is whether the people who are likely to buy it because they're likely to do all the online stuff are likely to already have it or not.
yeah,
I
I
don't know.
suppose so.
There's a lot of variables in there. It's really hard to say this will definitely happen, but
Yeah. I think yeah, it's just about choice really, isn't it? Like I think that's what this all comes down to, is having those options there, and if PlayStation offering a subscription service is probably for the best, then
yeah. Plus,
hopefully
paying yearly is definitely the cheapest option as well. It's like once a year, 100 quid disappears, and then it's like, right, never think about it again.
definitely.
I do monthly because £100 disappearing scares me. It terrifies me. I can't do that.
Well, what's Game Pass's annual?
Does it do it annual one? I can't. I just pay monthly for mine. So
That's annual price. Let's have a gander. Oh, they got all their console Game Pass things as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Let's have a gander.
It does 3 months, 6 months.
Oh, they like their 3 months now, though, don't they? Xbox.
That's live.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah, I remember that was the thing.
Remember buying a game and getting like a month trial little gift card thing in for
3 days, yeah.
And you'd ride those subscriptions for as long as you could.
You could, yeah, because you didn't want to ask your mum for that £5.
Yeah, I can't.
No, I don't think there is. I think 3 months is the most it does, which is 23 quid.
That's not bad.
Or if it's like £10.99 a month for Ultimate, but then again, yeah, there's
6 months for 50 quid as well.
What's that?
6 months for 50 quid.
Oh yeah, so it's about
£100 then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah, so it's very similar on that front, and Xbox has got 2 tiers, is it? Because there's Ultimate or is it 3? Because there's one for PC, and Xbox. I don't know. I pay for one of them. I don't know which one it is.
There's one that's the Xbox if you're just an Xbox customer, and then there's PC, which is the Ultimate Game Pass, which involves the console and the PC stuff. So yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's cleared that up slightly. But yeah. The other thing as well is like again, I'm just like whether it's a difference or not, because they've now incorporated like PS Plus was always the Xbox Live essentially equivalent, because it was the online subscription rather than the games. That is Xbox Live still separate from Game Pass, or do you get it as part of it?
No, separate.
You get Xbox Live as part of it. Yeah. I don't think they do Xbox Live subscriptions no more. They might do.
Because they
I
still
haven't
do
been on my
Games with Gold,
Xbox
don't
in
they?
a year.
What's that?
They still do
Gold,
games with Gold if you've got like.
Oh yeah. So they must
level.
do a separate thing, but I think they push the Game Pass because you get it all included. You know. Damn, I remember. Do you know what? You bringing up the PS Plus thing though? I remember back when Remember when PlayStation got hacked because it was all free, and they literally held PlayStation like the hostage for like a few days. Who was that? Who did that? That was Lizard. Was that Lizard Squad? Is it Lizard Squad that did that?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
So so to round that bit up, we all in favour for subscriptions.
Sorry, I've got a thing. It was the December 25th, Christmas Day, 2014. Lizard Squads did their DDoS on PlayStation and Xbox Live, but I think Xbox Live were like quick up, and they like held PlayStation hostage, didn't they? Damn. Sorry. It's just you brought that up, and it popped into my head, and I needed to find out. 2014, man, we're old. What the hell?
Yeah, we are old. 4 years out of school, that would have been Jesus. So moving on to the next bit is the IGDA, the International Game Developers Association, has mishandled complaints of harassment, conduct, and violation. So in the summer of 2020, the games industry saw a cluster of sexual harassment and abusive workplace scandals at a host of high-profile companies, with Ubisoft and Insomniac among them. And then the IGDA were publicly criticised for ignoring harassment allegations. What do we think of this?
It's good that they're being called out on.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's sad that this because what year did you say that originated from? Like the initial allegations.
So summer of 2020, and probably before that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's as Dale said, it's good that there's more of a spotlight on it, but it also, because it just, I mean, I suppose it doesn't. It feels like there's more and more of it because we're aware of it where we weren't before. Because there's a lot more have come out, I'm sure, in recent weeks and months. But yeah, I think it just kind of underlines just how endemic a problem is it. I mean, obviously not the game industry exclusively, but there's clearly a problem there.
Yeah, because it's even bad because it's failed to follow their own policies as well, like, which is quite shocking, to be fair. Like, yeah, it's just
have they said, like, I'd imagine have they made a statement? Have they said anything about it, or
no?
Are they playing the ignore game?
There's no. It's just
block the news.
Block the news. I think it's because it is bad. But on the other hand, Microsoft have now said that they won't block a potential Activision Blizzard union, and that's after.
Good.
That's good. Yeah. So they could have a union, which means now you don't have to go to the IDGA as well, which would be, and that's obviously So that who I probably they would have lost a lot of trust after that report has come out as well. So
I think the quicker the Microsoft can step in there, the better, right? The quicker the Microsoft
100%. Yeah. So we're looking at still next year though for 2023 for that to go through. But yeah.
Are they going through a union election process at the moment? Is it like voting on whether to have one, or is that still to be?
That's still to be. So the statement just comes following the Ravensoft software allegations, and they're signing. They signed a letter to Microsoft to encourage Activision Blizzard to voluntarily recognize the Games Workers Alliance Union.
Yeah. So, I mean, for anyone who kind of doesn't know, the way these things work is like, when there's like it's always talked about as like voting whether to have a union, which is a bit misleading because you technically anyone can join any union and you've got the right to do that. At least in the UK, you've got the right to do that. Whereas when they're talking about that, it's about whether the employer formally recognises the union for like collective bargaining purposes, and that's where you have to, if they don't do it voluntarily and say yeah we recognise it, that's where you have to have an election, which is where you've got to reach a certain amount, like it's generally over 50% of the bargaining unit, and then go and say and like go to the courts and say right, we've got more than half of the workers here, we want to have a union, which will then lead to a vote, and then what you see in that is like you'll have all sorts of things like might be haggling beforehand where the employer will argue about what constitutes the bargaining unit to try and argue that there's actually less than 50% because they'll add different people in who maybe not part of that and say, oh, they should be part of this as well. And then once the vote starts, you get all this union busting stuff where they send out all this propaganda to say, you know, the union's this like sneaky outside force that's coming in, and we're a family as workforce, and you don't want them because you'll have to pay union dues and all this sort of stuff. So I think from what I remember, Activision were actively engaged in doing all that, sending out loads of stuff, basically big missives to say union bad.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know whether Microsoft's thing just says if the vote is in favor, we'll recognize it, or whether it says we will actively stop doing any of that stuff as well. But obviously, that's. I mean, yeah, my cardinal rule applies. Still, corporations are not your friends, even if they make games.
What do you mean? Stop. I couldn't think of a company or a corporation then to be like they love me, so my joke's gone. I'm sorry.
Microsoft or a corporation
company loves me.
Yeah, Xbox.
Yeah, Microsoft loves me. Okay.
They give me Game Pass subscription services. Day one releases. Oh God, remember day one releases.
remember going to a day one release? That was some of the best things ever. Like, you know, honestly, going to game for the Call of Duty releases, in midnight releases, was some of the hypest thing I have ever. You'd sleep all day. You go in. You'd see there'd be a guy dressed up in military stuff, and everyone's all so excited. You go back and you just play it just for like 24 hours straight, and
there's nothing more stressful or heartbreaking though as the number of stores that don't have the gaming increases, and as you're running around town frantically and
oh yeah,
online shopping is this is why I will happily keep the privilege of the modern era and online shopping and not go back to any of that.
Remember pre-ordering your games at game and stuff? You get that little receipt. Yeah, you get a little receipt when you were like 18 games on there. You just gone in with like £100 to pre-order your games, and then you end up refunding them all because you don't actually buy them.
Yeah, I remember the Xbox One release. That was something else. I think my total I did it online originally, and my total basket was about 700 quid including the console. And I was like, I got money for that. Yeah, I'm a shooter by that. And I cancelled the whole order.
Adult life, huh? Adult life sucks.
See that sounds like the video game equivalent to like that first time you go shopping for yourself when you're living away from home, and like you go around and you just start throwing things in, and at the end it's like 200 quid. It's just like, what?
You mean this costs money? Food is the most expensive thing, man. Food just... I hate food.
It's expensive, yeah.
I hate food.
We've just got our kitchen back now, so we're in having the first food shop.
I hate it. Although, I'm not going to lie, I do like a food shop. I do like going for a food shop. Because you end up just putting the sneaky stuff in. It's like, I'll have a pack of that. I'll be snackish for these sometime in the week. Don't worry about it. And you come home and you have like 8 packs of squares, just loads of packs of crisp chocolate. And you're like, oh.
Don't shop when you're hungry, and don't shop when you're full. Always shop when you're like somewhere in the middle.
Do you know what I'm really bad for? Is if I've had a bad day in work, is pulling into Tesco's. That's what I'm really bad for. Is I've had a bad day in work, pull into Tesco's. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I just there's £10 on munch that I'll eat all in one sitting and just cry and sleep. You know.
Yeah. Right, back to video games anyway. Right.
We had our tangent on quite a serious topic as well.
Yeah. Bad time in that. Right, so the last article we're going to cover today is the FIFA, Call of Duty, and Super Mario are some of the biggest game franchises in the UK history. So FIFA with 50 is at the top, Call of Duty with 32 titles second, and Mario with a shocking 109 titles is third as well. And unfortunately, Phil's favourite, Sonic, has just missed out on the top 10.
Boo.
I guess that's time though. Sonic's not been big or relevant for quite some time, is it?
Oh, there we go.
No offense, I love Sonic. I do love my boy.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? Yeah, because that's based on how many, like, that's based on the amount of money that's made, isn't it? Like, in terms of like the biggest selling. Well, obviously it wouldn't just be based on like some arbitrary. This one's big because I like it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by it. I don't think I'm too surprised by FIFA because that's always been like, I think even someone who doesn't play any other video games, like you got to it'll be a play FIFA because that's it's football. It's what everyone's favorite thing.
Everything is
He smiles, sat there in his.
Nah, the thing is I've been craving a FIFA playthrough. Like, I just really want to sit down.
I do now and again. I just crave, right, making an 18-year-old Dale or 16-year-old Dale, watching him succeed in life amazingly, scoring absolute screamers for like Real Madrid in the Champions League finals while I'm sat there covered in crisps. Just like, oh, this is cool.
I think that's what FIFA does, doesn't it? It's that nostalgia trip. It's like going through career mode and just like battling through. But yeah, it's I'm not shocked, and it's just gone massively downhill because they're on about like scrapping it now as well. FIFA.
What, like scrapping it? Like it's gone?
So yeah, scrapping it because there was rumors of it becoming live service where they just update it every year, which I think would be the best way forward for it. But
yeah, I guess so. But then the only thing is they do like to flaunt their like different systems and stuff. And
do they ever work though?
I don't know. I don't play FIFA all that much.
I was gonna say it's been a long time since I've played FIFA or any footy game. But like, how many different systems do you need for press direction to run in direction, press X to hit ball?
But there's different types of tackles. If you're gonna 2-foot someone and then
you gotta make that 2 foot has got to crunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you hit a 2-footer, it's got to crunch.
It's different. It hits different.
But I mean, there's not been any innovation. Like the game of football as played in the real world today is no different in terms of like the basic core thing mechanics as like in 1922. Really, there's it's flashier or whatever, but
there is there's quite a few changes.
Yeah, but I mean, pick up the ball. We're playing from the back now. We're not playing with leather ball, like the hard leather balls that break your foot.
Yeah. Completely wrong about that.
Game, mate.
But like,
I get what you mean, though. The whole principle of the game.
Yeah, certainly in terms of changes year to year. Like if they might need to make a FIFA 3022 or something, because the game's evolved beyond all recognition by then, and like everyone's got hover boots. But
that'd be sick.
But like, is football in 2023 going to be any different than football in 2020?
No.
That was the core point I was going to make before I made a fool of myself.
But like the thing is, like growing up from like FIFA from the PS2 to the like the next gen consoles, like the Xbox 360, there was obviously a massive difference in terms of mechanics. But now, like, there's not as big of a jump, I think. Like, FIFA's
Plus, you've
kind of
got the live
is
service, and you
kind
can
of
put patches in to put new control.
Yeah.
Like, you can change things that way, can't you? Anyway.
Yeah,
But I guess they could always go to like the Warzone route and what they're doing, where they have a game for like a few years. I don't know when Warzone come out, Modern Warfare, which was 19. So it's 3 years, and now this year, rumors that number 2 is coming out. So maybe they could do it like that.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I was just gonna say I wouldn't mind either doing like decades or like every 5 years release a new game. And be like, we got because like the biggest complaint of FIFA now that like I've seen is that the mechanics are too because they're so complicated now. Like the AI is just like, and the AI is awful anyway. But like the AI's gone downhill. Because they've tried to overcomplicate things now. It's not as good as it was the previous year and stuff. And it's kind of so.
It was because back then when we were kids, we were just translating something that was it's quite a complicated sport. It is.
Yeah.
It's a simple sport to start playing, but like when you're watching the professionals,
the technique and
it's a complicated thing. It's just translating something that was really complicated into something was simple for us to understand that looked like the thing that we loved.
Yeah.
And we could, interact and affect what we were seeing and doing in a simpler way, you know what I mean? Because all you really had was like a standing tackle, a slide tackle, 2 maybe types of passes, crosses, and that was it really. Now you got like
finesse shots.
Finesse
shots, you got curling the ball, also.
But
I
just sprint.
There's the point if it gets to the point though where like the inputs are as complicated as like for playing, I don't know, UFC or something like that, then it's like that's
kind of
obviously ridiculous. Like sort of,
It's but other than that, like looking at the list, like Pokemon's 8th, behind Grand Theft Auto, Lego, Star Wars, The Sims. Got WWE at 12th as well, Marvel at 13th. The Wii Fit though at 14th as well, which is quite a feat.
I mean, I kind of would have thought it'd be a bit higher, to be fair, with the Wii, because that was I remember that. I remember that. My dad having to go like back doors of a Woolworths to get it off a guy as it come off a van, like just to buy it as quick as it could or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. That might be complete and utter thing, but I know it was a Woolworths, alright? My dad did everything he could to get us.
In Dale's memory, it's in sepia tones and there's like a gruff voiceover.
So,
it was raining that day, as it always was.
How many do you want, mate? My dad had to fight 18 henchmen to get to the guy that was selling the Wii. It was crazy, it was. Damn, it was a crazy day, that was. But I remember the hype for the Wii. It was crazy.
It was mad.
Genuinely crazy. I think I don't know if it rivals the PS5 shortage, but like it was up there. Like it was. There was no shortage of actual consoles. They were there. It was just you couldn't get one because everyone was buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
crazy.
I used to love the Wii Fit. Yeah, it was good. Any more thoughts on today before we give us a wave and say goodbye?
I just wanted to say that I'm not shocked that COD and what were the games that you said?
COD and Mario in the top 3 with FIFA.
COD, Mario, and FIFA. COD and FIFA specific. Mario, I'm a little thing of because I thought that might have died down a little.
Yeah, but I guess not. There's been some sort of Mario game which has generally been quite fun most years. So it's
I suppose it's their flagship. And a flagship of a console as successful as like Nintendo's consoles.
Yeah, like if Sega was still a console maker, then Sonic could probably be higher than it was.
Yeah, a lot of focus has taken off here.
Whereas because Nintendo's been around as console longer than Sega lasted, longer than PlayStation have been consoles, longer than Xbox.
Yeah,
and PlayStation, Xbox haven't had one consistent flagship who's been the one sole mascot for the entire period anyway. in the same way.
Mario really be carrying Nintendo on this, but you can't actually say that because they bring out quality games, don't they?
Yeah.
They bring out absolutely incredible games. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I just want to say that I'm not shocked by those because they're pretty. I hate using the term, but they're pretty casual games too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And even people that I know that hate gaming still plays cards and still play FIFA. It's their thing.
Yeah,
which I'm not taking from them because they love it and it's their it's their shit for lack of better words. So yeah, I'm not shocked. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So thank you for stopping by, everyone. Of course, you can follow us all on our socials: Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at UnCapt Gaming. And yeah, so hopefully catch you at w.a.s.d next week. So next week, yeah, we'll be next week.
It's next week. So is there gonna be no podcast next week because you two are away?
Yeah, no podcast.
Am I gonna record it on my own?
Yeah, you'll just get Dale playing COD.
I can do that. We can do that.
We can dial in from WAS once we're in the hotel room and just sort of be like, "Hi Dale, we miss you."
Like, hi, I'm just working. Miss you guys.
So yeah, that's everything. Yeah. So thank you for stopping by again. I shall catch you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye,
Take
guys.
care, everyone. Bye.